We're back here on HQ Spotlight here on CBS Sports Network, where we dial in and keep our eye on the NFL. A lot of moves happened just yesterday. Commanders fans can breathe a little easier today now that the heartbeat of that team, Terry McLaurin, is staying in D.C. And elsewhere, Cincinnati fans also got some good news as the stalemate between the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson is over. Well, for now. The star pass rusher reached an agreement to raise his salary this season to $30 million, which is a $14 million raise. For much more on that and all things going on around the league, let's go ahead and say hello to our senior NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. JJ, it is so great to see you. Let's go ahead and start with the reaction around the league after the news came down that Hendrickson and the Bengals came to terms on his new deal.
The reaction was, well, this was what all that was about, right? Look, Trey Hendrickson, after leading the NFL in sacks, he was due a raise. And I think that the Cincinnati Bengals, a lot of teams, they don't like to just give out raises, right? You signed a contract. Oh, wow, you played really well. Well, that's what we signed a contract for. But they would have given him a raise. What Trey Hendrickson wanted this entire time was guaranteed money beyond 2025. He wanted not just the fake numbers for 26 and 27, he wanted it guaranteed when he put pen to paper. The Bengals did not want to do that. They never want to do that. They've only done it with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And so if that was Trey Hendrickson's goal, he did not reach that goal. He got a raise, and now he's up here, right, with these other guys. But these other guys have money in 2026 and beyond. And so what Trey Hendrickson ultimately got was a raise this year, and then you look at next year, we could be in March, and the Cincinnati Bengals could franchise tag Trey Hendrickson. Then he doesn't have any guaranteed money for the next year, right? And so it's sort of a, why did we do all of this to get to this point? But with about 2 weeks left before the start of the season, he should be in good enough shape to be able to contribute week one for a Cincinnati Bengals defense that desperately needs his pass rush savvy, because that is certainly going to be a weak link in this team. Trey Hendrickson, he's back with the Bengals in 2025. Maybe he's back in 2026. We'll see when we get to March.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Everyone's just like, what was all the fuss about? Just this? You know, regardless, happy for Cincy fans. Hurting for Cowboys fans as Micah Parsons keeps watching other deals get done. And now while he waits, there's a lot of confidence coming from his quarterback, Dak Prescott, that he will play week one. Take a listen.
You have any confidence that Micah will be on the field with you against the Eagles?
He won't be on the field with me.
With a team.
Oh, yeah. No, I've got confidence. I've told y'all that way back when. And I'm just going off of experience, honestly. No different than mine. So I've got confidence in that. Just hoping, which I know he is, he's ready to play.
So Dak's confident Parsons will be ready to play week one, JJ, but are you?
Look, Dak is the leader of that team. He's the quarterback. He is really polished and articulate, knows what to say, when to say it. I think this is just quarterback talk. I don't think that he has some inside information necessarily on this, and he compared his situation last year, and really several years before that, to Micah Parsons this year. And what I would say the difference there, when Dak Prescott, remember, he signed that record-breaking contract, and it came through a couple hours before the week one game for the Dallas Cowboys. The difference there is Dak Prescott's representation was in constant communication with the Dallas Cowboys in getting that deal done. Micah Parsons' representation hasn't been speaking with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys haven't picked up the phone to call his agent, is probably the better way that I should put that. And so Jerry Jones believes he has a gentleman's agreement with Micah Parsons that they struck back in the spring. Micah Parsons says, well, I want my agent to get involved in some of this. And that is where we are at right now. We see Parsons in that practice jersey. Of course, he has not been participating due to lingering back tightness. We'll see just how bad that back is as you continue on through the rest of this preseason, as you head into the season. Look, the Dallas Cowboys, he's on the roster. He's under contract. You have to pay injured players. Perhaps he is too injured to play week one, and perhaps that just happens to coincide with him not having a new contract. We see right there the week one game, Thursday Night Football against the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles, and then another NFC East matchup the following week. How long does this linger if it goes into the season? how good or bad is this Dallas Cowboys defense with new defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, with or without Micah Parsons? And so that's one piece of leverage that Parsons currently has. This has been ugly. It has gotten, I would say, disrespectful. I think both sides would say that they have felt disrespected over the last several weeks, if not a couple of months. I don't know that we're going to reach a resolution before the start of the season. And if we do not, I find it very hard to believe that Micah Parsons is going to be playing this season under his current contract. So this absolutely, while Trey Hendrickson just got done, while Terry McLaurin just got done, all these contract situations, nice and tidy and bows on them, that may not be the case week one for the Dallas Cowboys.
I think you're asking all the right questions there, JJ. Let's go ahead and get to the Vikings here. This is a team where they have a front office staff that's just been wheeling and dealing in terms of trades as of lately. So what's next, JJ? And tell me why it has to be a receiver.
Well, they're looking for a new man on the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know. Do people still use that Lizzo lyric?
It. We do.
We do.
JJ does.
But look, the new man on the Minnesota Vikings may actually be the old man on the Minnesota Vikings, someone who was actually on the team when that lyric was actually popular. Adam Thielen, currently with the Carolina Panthers, at least for the next little bit. Thielen, of course, made his name in Minnesota the last 2 years. He's been on bad Carolina Panthers teams. He's been the veteran receiver over there. Look, yes, the Vikings want him, but is the price going to be right? Is the draft pick compensation going to be right for a player of his age when you consider the salary, compensation? All those things have to work out. And the Vikings and Panthers, the two GMs there, have been in fairly regular communication. Deadline spur action. Maybe something will happen by 4 p.m. Eastern once the rosters are more or less set. But also, just because it's a deadline today doesn't mean it won't still be a deadline tomorrow. Like, if they don't get the deal done for Adam Thielen today, it doesn't mean that they can't do it tomorrow. But even if they don't get it done, maybe they look elsewhere for a different wide receiver that they would ultimately trade for, or, depending on how these waiver cuts go, perhaps claim one off of the waiver wire later on over the next 26 or so hours. So that's who the Minnesota Vikings have their eye on. If they can actually get him or not, we'll see.
Okay, so from Lizzo to T-Swift, you knew this one was coming. I hope you have a lyric to throw in for me. We get to the biggest transaction of the day, JJ. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, engage. They sign a lifetime contract. It's official. The group chats are just absolutely blowing up. You knew I was going to ask you about this one. What was your reaction to the news?
Well, I'm happy for him, right? You know, you're in your mid-30s. You're ready to settle down. You've been dating for 2 years. You hope that this is the right one. And look, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, I was right behind them there. You just can't see me. There's Donna Kelce behind him. I was on the other side right there as well. So I'm very happy for them. You know, I was there as well. I've been fortunate enough to be in all three of these pictures right behind.
True love firsthand. Obsessed.
Well, yeah, no, yes, that's true, right? I wasn't there 2 years ago when he was trying to hand her a friendship bracelet to catch her eye. But in these moments on the field, my dear friends Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, we'll see when they ultimately tie the knot, Jordan, because, you know, everyone's going to talk about weddings during football season and all that. This very likely is Travis Kelce's last year, okay? So he's got engaged, all right? He needs to focus on the season. Wedding planning can be an absolute bear while you're trying to get your work done, right? There's always something. And so maybe they kind of put it off for, I don't know, they got a couple dollars. Maybe they actually hire some planners, not just one, but a few. But Travis Kelce is bound and determined to win another Lombardi, go out on top. It's the final year of his contract. Very likely retire after this season if everything goes according to plan. And then, of course, he can focus on being a married man to one of the most recognizable people. People keep kind of qualifying it like she's the most famous pop star on the planet. She's actually one of the most recognizable people on the planet. I've been trying to come up with a list of people perhaps more recognizable than Taylor Swift, and I'm in the single digits. Like, if she just popped into any corner of the world, people would know her. And that's Travis Kelce's wife, or should I say, that's going to be Taylor Swift's husband.
Oh, my God, it has such a ring to it, does it? You know, I'm so glad that you brought up that point, because this is really setting up for what would be the perfect last ride for Kelce and company, who will soon be riding off to the sunset with Taylor Swift. It's epic. JJ, always great to see you hitting some important news today. And the countdown is on. NFL Sundays return September the 7th. You can watch Travis Kelce and those Chiefs on CBS or stream on Paramount Plus. Look for those Taylor Swift cameos as well.